This is Video Game Expertise.
Smorgasbord! The smorgasbord is
Too big. So we gotta do multiple episodes. So stay tuned for Smorgasbord Part 2. You think you know video games? You don't know jack shit! Video games, video games, video games, video game expertise! Woo! The Smorgasbord Countdown Number 1. How did we come up with the PlayStation and GameCube controllers, the perfect video game controllers? Well, it didn't come easy. It came over many iterations. First, pioneering game designer Ralph Baer created implants that were, implanted directly into your hands. You could then control the game with your hands. A revolutionary idea. But then arcade manufacturers stepped in, and they tried to do their thing, using joysticks, which were shown to break people's arms in almost every case. Of course, computers had their own problems, mice. You want carpal tunnel syndrome? Use a mouse. You're guaranteed to get it in a couple days. Nintendo came in and surveyed the field. Revolutionary designer Gunpei Yokoi took a look at the field and said, "Enough of this shit. Let's make a controller." And so the first controller was created. It was a little blocky, but it had multiple buttons, a directional pad to control the character, revolutions at the time compared to the implants and arm breaking. This NES controller design would evolve to the Super NES controller. Smoother, easier to hold, more buttons. But could there be even more buttons? Atari tried that with the Jaguar. They found out it isn't just about the buttons, something we all have to learn the hard way in life. Of course, we all know how Sony stepped in and stole Nintendo's design to create the PlayStation. It's not surprising that the PlayStation controller looks a lot like a Super Nintendo controller, just with those wing things at the bottom, whatever those are for. But Nintendo came back with a revolutionary idea, the N64 controller. Can be held in 16 different ways, and each way perfectly suited for a particular game. Designed specifically for playing games in 5 dimensions. But Nintendo wasn't done yet. They melded it all down into an even simpler form, the GameCube controller, the perfect video game controller. Of course, Sony quickly ripped off the analog sticks from Nintendo, and using that with iterations for the PlayStation 2 and 3. A great controller, even if it was done immorally. Most other video game consoles ripped off Nintendo as well, such as the TurboGrafx 16 and Sega Genesis. But somebody couldn't be satisfied with just borrowing ideas. In stepped Microsoft. Dun, 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 dun. Bill Gates quickly realized he could steal DNA using controllers and break people's hands and also give them warts. And so, hence the Xbox controller, the most dangerous controller on the market. And well, that's the history of video game controllers.